I first came with my older son to register for 9th grade, and I walked into these doors. Everything was so different. There are very few pieces that you can really put together, or that I can, that are the real original.
It was built as an open school concept. I remember teachers trying to take boxes and pile up and create walls so that they would have individual classrooms.
Huge room, and it was divided up into 4 pods. And each of them were separated by 4-foot partitions. So you really didn't have a door, you didn't have some things there, but again, we learned to teach together.
No technology at all. We were in a class and it had petitions to where you could hear the other class sometimes if they got too loud.
So there weren't walls, and the lights for the class on film would dim, and there might be a class just down the way on essays and creative writing or something, and they needed light. Well, the lights went out for them too.
The band room was underneath what y'all would call the old gym. My homeroom was actually on the theater in the back left corner. The homeroom was on top of that theater stage.
In the football stadium itself, the metal bleachers on what you guys I think call the visitor side, those used to be concrete.
It was a building built for about 1,000 students, maybe 1,200, and we had 1,800 to 2,100 in it before it was renovated the first time.
The whole structure of the school is a lot different. The front of the school today wasn't here, it was the side of the school.
This building actually, the first year it was created was actually my senior year. So we got to hang out in the fancy, what we call the D building now. I still, because I'm old school, I just call it the new building.
You can't even see the school from the roads, by the way. The trees, they used to have a ton of trees around the school, so you could not see the school at all from 29 or Pleasant Hill Road.
There was not a lot of female sports during that time, so there was no softball teams or anything like that. So we had a girls basketball team, which I did not play on, I was too short for that, and then we had track.
Me and my 2 best friends was three of the first blacks to play here soccer.
Some of the greatest memories that I had at Berkmar were, I was a basketball player, so playing in the old gym. And there was no other gym like it that we played in. We loved to play pickup there. Kids from all other schools came to play pickup during the off season, summers, whether it's vacation time, because it was just a great atmosphere.
It was smaller back then. It wasn't near the numbers and stuff that it is now. And everybody pretty much knew everybody, and you all hung out together.
Around 1,200 and something students, so my graduating class was pretty small compared to nowadays. And so we still had a small town feel, even though we were a large high school.
Friday nights were crazy. It was fun, it really was.
As far as the football games, I mean, it was a big community event. Everybody showed up. Everybody came. One of the biggest traditions that I hope that can come back, we had a big cannon at the end of at the end zone, and every time we scored a touchdown, Patriot mascot shot it, and you can hear it from miles away.
We had a brand new basketball coach. We had a really good basketball team, and we just started beating team after team at state, and then finally we went to Macon. It was the most school spirit I've ever seen. I had my face painted red and blue and just going crazy. I remember driving an hour and a half, 2 hours down to Macon and just having a good time.
Homecoming this year was pretty cool with all the fans out there supporting us.
All the parades and pep rallies were a big deal for us, and we were very involved.
That was my most memorable part, was when we did homecoming floats, and class of 78 won all 4 years that we were here. So I had to say that part.
Things is we used to do homecoming floats, and I can remember the homecoming float, and they were made of tissue paper, and you would spend weeks in someone's garage doing these floats, and I can remember then you had a parade around the track, and one of them got set on fire as it was going around the tracks.
Our athletic programs, they were very close. I think we had good administration. We had a good rapport with our administrator. It wasn't like students versus faculty.
I had a math teacher by the name of Mrs. Polly. She was just the way she talked and explained stuff, it made it all become, it seemed like it was easy. I mean, she really cared about us. And anybody, if you had a problem or anything, she would talk to you. I mean, she was just the best, like a best friend.
Being in Mr. Taggart's U.S. history class was always a good time. Man was a legend. He was just an expert and very good at his field. He always did a lot of interesting things in her class, did debates. He was a really good man.
Miss Crossman, just being in her class, and she basically, I grew up with her my whole, like I said, my whole high school career.
The first time I came to Berkmar was in 1980, the day I started my freshman year, and I was scared to death to get off the bus. But I made it, and within about 5 minutes it felt like home. I came to Berkmar as part of the faculty in 1997. In 2005 and 2006, I was named Teacher of the Year here at Berkmar. And that was a particularly awesome thing to experience, having been a student here. When we walk into the room every day, we carry on the same traditions musically as we had when I was in high school. That's been something wonderful to share with the kids.
And she taught me a lot. And she stayed on me and my sister. We both were in chorus. And she was always there for me. And she was the real definition of an educator, not just a teacher. So so everything that she taught me, I brought it with me, and I tried to instill that into the children I have in my class.
I know they got good education. I'm very proud of what some of them have done. We have a former student, Steve Whitmire, who's with the Muppets. Well, he went through our elective curriculum. So I kind of hold him up as really benefiting from a very creative curriculum.
Well, you know, I teach here. This is my 11th year teaching here, so it's really odd for me. It was really odd to come back my first year in 2006 because it's like 8-year difference. And so I had a bunch of teachers here that, at my first year, that taught me. So it was really odd to come up to them and go, I don't know what to call them, like Miss Fisher or Miss Bennett or, Miss Salverine. I can't call them by their first name. To this day, I still can't call those teachers by their first name because it's a matter of respect, and also it's just really odd.
I won't say it's weird, but it's so crazy to see some of my teachers here. Like I had Mr. Schmidt was my physics teacher, Miss Vetrano was my trigonometry, so I saw her. Coach Webb, she was my 9th grade best stepper coach. So it's really good, and it's very welcoming to see them because they don't treat me like, oh, you're the little Ashley that we had. They see me that I'm mature now, I've grown up, and I'm in my career, and they're very proud of me. I will say that.
When I was coming through school, if you were in class of 78, you pretty much stayed in the class of 78. That was the people you were your friends. But there's a dinner planned at some restaurant every single Wednesday night. We usually have about 15 people, and it's fun to reminisce. That can be anywhere from the classes. I think we've got classes 71 through 80 coming to these. So a lot of people that we didn't know in school, and now I'm getting to know them. I loved Berkmar, and it means a lot to me.
My graduating class, we were really close. A lot of us went to middle school together and continued on through high school, and we still communicate today in college. So I had some good times here at Berkmar.